I can still feel the chandelier heat on my shoulders, even though the ballroom's air conditioning was cranked low enough to keep the ice sculptures solid all night. 30 seconds ago, I was just the proud big sister, standing beside a 5-tier red velvet wedding cake and watching my little brother Jacob dance with his new bride. Now, every lens in the Driskill Hotel is pointed at me, and my dress blue jacket suddenly weighs 100 pounds. Gregory Harrington, my stepfather, self-styled patron saint of Texas veterans, raises a crystal flute for silence. His voice booms through the wireless mic and, courtesy of 20 conference room quality speakers, blasts into a couple hundred smartphones that are live streaming the reception. "Y'all, before dessert," he drawls, "our distinguished guest, Lieutenant General Riley Collins, has a confession to make." My stomach drops. This isn't on the program. Two 40-foot LED columns flicker to life behind the dance floor. A video starts playing low-light footage of a woman in uniform exchanging an envelope for a stack of cash. The woman looks exactly like me. A banner crawls across the bottom. Breaking female general sells security secrets for luxury wardrobe. Someone gasps, someone else laughs, and the entire ballroom tilts. The insult is so public, so absurd, that for half a heartbeat my brain refuses to process it. Then the laughter ripples wider. I taste copper. Years of combat drills kick in, assess, breathe, decide. But this battlefield has chandeliers, not helicopters, sequin gowns, not body armor. I reach to steady myself, and a small, delicate pressflower bookmark slips from my inner pocket, one crisp bluebonnet my grandfather pressed for me when I graduated from West Point. It flutters to the marble floor and vanishes beneath a swirl of tuxedo shoes. First symbol crushed. My mind notes, bitterly clinical. My pulse hammers loud enough to drown the band. I search for Jacob, my brilliant fintech brother, in his tailored tux, but he's too stunned to move. His bride, Stephanie, has one hand over her mouth, mascara threatening flood stage. Gregory smiles like a Baptist deacon who's just caught the devil in a lie. I clear my throat, but the mic feed is locked. Gregory's people control the board, so he keeps talking. All proceeds from Riley's little side hustle apparently went into designer gowns, and he lifts one of my gala dresses from a gift box like a prosecutor unveiling Exhibit A. This exact piece retails for $12,000. Hook achieved. I think numbly. Millions on the internet are rubbernecking as a decorated soldier is shamed live during her own brother's first dance. And that's exactly why you watching from your phone need to stick with me. If you've ever been blindsided by a lie so slick it felt true, hit like right now. Type #JusticeForRiley in the comments so I can find my allies later. And subscribe, because this ride only gets rougher from here. The orchestra tries to vamp, but the violinist is visibly shaking. I hold my spine straight, decades of drill sergeant conditioning, but inside, old ghosts claw for daylight. I taste dust from Kandahar, gun oil fumes, Miguel's blood on my hands the night I dragged him out of a burning armored Humvee. Those are the memories Gregory wants strangers to question. My honor is the currency he's spending to buy himself applause. "Riley, care to explain?" he prompts. The room's laughter dies, greedy for a second wave of humiliation. Explain what that the footage is a deepfake stitched together by someone with access to military dress regs and a mid-range AI model. That the alleged cash is standard props anyone can buy on Amazon for $10 a ream. No one here will listen. They came for cake and spectacle. He gave them both. My right hand finds the silver dog tag dangling just under my collarbone, Granddad Bill's ID, retrofitted with a tiny USB chip. On it, the original. Unaltered will Gregory forged 6 months ago, the ledger to his so-called veterans charity, and the kill switch code I designed with Miguel in case this exact nightmare came true. But digital truth means nothing if your reputation is roadkill first. A flash of red LED washes the crowd. The live stream hit 300,000 viewers and counting. My humiliation is now global. Gregory's timing is precise. Catch me in uniform, in public, on the happiest night of the family calendar. One strike to erase 21 years of service. In the back row, Thaddeus T-Bone, Foster Fox Talks star veteran-turned-commentator, has his phone up. He mouths ratings gold. Next to him, Congresswoman Dorsey, whose re-election fund Gregory underwrites, is already scrolling a statement condemning me. She'll read it before the dessert plates clear. My lungs squeeze. PTSD is a trickster. Sometimes it hides for weeks. Sometimes a simple flashbulb detonates it. Right now, the ballroom lights snap like mortar strobe. I smell cordite that isn't there. My kneecaps threaten mutiny. Something warm clasps my wrist, Stephanie. Her eyes brim with tears, but her voice is steady. This is garbage. We'll prove it. She presses a folded document into my hand before anyone notices. Internal financials. I tuck it into my jacket. Gregory fills the silence, folks. In honor of our heroes, consider donating tonight to the Lone Star Heroes Foundation. QR codes pop on screen, festooned with American flags and his smiling face. I spot the first phone cameras open their banking apps. Blood money, I think. And then a new voice booms over the PA, a voice I recognize from target range days. Sir, that's enough. Everyone parts like pew doors for Thaddeus Foster, who strides toward the stage, silver hair gleaming beneath the chandeliers. Even Gregory looks startled. Vet-on-vet criticism ruins his script. But T-Bone's not speaking to defend me. Not yet. He's here to get his exclusive. General Collins, he says evenly. America's owed an answer. Did you sell classified intel? Silence crowds the room. My hands aren't shaking now. They're ice. Say something. The survival part of my brain urges. But every denial sounds weak until it's proven. And proof lives 60 miles west, buried under limestone in Gregory's ranch server room. So I take a breath so deep it hurts my ribs and look directly into Foster's phone camera, the same one streaming to his 2 million subscribers. My answer, I say, requires more bandwidth than a wedding toast, and since free speech is still a thing, you'll hear it in my own words, uncut, unedited. Foster raises an eyebrow. That's better TV than he expected. Gregory's jaw tightens. But first, I add, voice dropping low, I have a question for our host. Where were you last Thursday at 3 a.m.? And why did a wallet labeled Lone Star Heroes Reserve suddenly push $3 million in crypto to a shell LLC in the Caymans? Gasps pop like corn. Foster's phone dips. He wasn't briefed on that. Gregory coughs a laugh. Wild claim. Riley proof. Oh, I've got it. I tap the dog tag, and you know exactly where. For a moment, the only sound is the click-click of phone shutters capturing the face-off. Then Gregory waves security forward. Escort the general to a private room. She's clearly having an episode. 2 rent-a-cops in black suits step toward me. That's when Jacob finally finds his voice. Dad, stop, he yells, cutting the music dead. Hundreds of heads swivel. The groom's tuck sleeve rips as he shoulders past the guards. This is my wedding, and Riley is my sister. We will hear her out. Gregory's face flushes crimson at the public defiance. Jacob, son, you don't understand. Jacob doesn't break eye contact with me, Riley. If you have evidence, I'll help you show it. My heart cracks open relief. Gratitude. An older sister pride that stings worse than shrapnel. But I also see the fear behind his bravado. He's wedged between blood loyalty and the man who paid for his Ivy League MBA. In that heartbeat, I choose. Not retreat, not surrender. I lift my chin. Fine. I say to the room, you want a show? Tune in tomorrow at noon Central. I'll stream every bite of the truth. Then you can decide who betrayed whom. Security hesitates. Gregory hesitates longer. Optics are shifting under his feet like desert sand. I scoop the trampled bluebonnet from the floor petals, bruised, but still blue, and pin it back inside my pocket. Symbol rescued. My brain notes grimly. One battle, not the war. As I step off the dais, the crowd parts, half hostile, half hopeful. Stephanie squeezes my hand and whispers, "Midnight, back patio. We plan." She's not the only ally forming. I spot Miguel Alvarez leaning in the doorway, arms crossed, hacker smile razor sharp. Reinforcements have arrived. But first, I have to survive the next 12 hours of public crucifixion. And if you think Gregory's fake video is the worst thing he's got in store for me, wait until you see what he's hiding underneath that ranch of his footage, so twisted it makes tonight look like a harmless prank. Trust me, you don't want to miss part 2. Morning slams into me like a mortar-round buzzing phone. Hard light, the stale perfume of last night's ballroom still clinging to my skin. I'm sitting on the edge of a hotel bed that was meant for post-wedding family naps, not crisis management. My dress blue jacket hangs on a chair, metal ribbons crooked from the shove of security guards. The first notification I open reads, "Trader General is now trending #1 in the United States. 800,000 tweets in 6 hours. A river of laughing emojis, eagle flag emojis, and fry her for treason memes. Somewhere in there, a handful of strangers post slow down. Deepfakes are real. Their voices drown before they leave the shore." I drag a palm down my face. Skin hot, fingertips cold, classic adrenaline dump. The dog tag around my neck. Granddad Bills thumps my sternum in a steady rebuke. "Stand up, soldier." But first I need coffee strong enough to melt rust. A knock at the door, I open up, prepared to bark. But it's Miguel Mike Alvarez camo ball cap, battered laptop under one arm, 2 Grande Americanos in the other. He steps inside without waiting. The soft click of the latch sealing us away from reporters prowling the corridor. "Watch the feed," he says. Almost threw my screen across the room. "Appreciate the restraint," I mutter. Accepting coffee. Hands shake, lid rattles. Miguel notices. Pretends he doesn't. That's our dance battle buddies never tally each other's scars before noon. He opens the laptop. A hex green matrix scrolls. I scraped the deepfake frame by frame. Whoever built it used a StyleGAN derivative and voice synthesis patch, lifted from open source. Amateur hour. But public can't tell. Gregory doesn't need perfect. He needs loud. Miguel tilts the screen toward me. Digital forensics overlay highlights mismatched color channels. Latency discrepancies. I can pre-record a demo explaining the fakery. Post it to your social feeds. I stare at the evidence. Truth feels real. But my reputation is hemorrhaging faster than we can bandage. Won't matter unless we show motive. Money trail trumps pixels. Miguel's grin is quick, feral. Then we follow the money. Stephanie's outside. Alleyway rendezvous. We slip down a service stairwell that smells of bleach and burnt coffee. Austin heat slaps us as we exit to a back alley where garbage trucks roar. Stephanie winters, still in yesterday's satin but with sneakers now, paces between dumpsters. She thrusts a manila envelope at me. I pulled this off Gregory's home office printer at 3 a.m. Habit of leaving drives mapped. Her voice trembles, but her spine is straight. Inside the envelope, a stack of cryptocurrency transfers, wallet handles I don't recognize, spiraling into a shell corporation called Longshot Realty Holdings, LLC. Dollar amounts read like Pentagon procurement lines. Miguel whistles low. That's not charity work. That's industrial-scale laundering. Stephanie's eyes shine, half pride, half guilt. Jacob still thinks Dad Gregory is a hero. If he knew. I grip her hand. We'll protect him and you. Lightning clatters inside my skull, flashback avalanche. In Kandahar, I'd promised a young corporal we'd evacuate by dawn. The helicopter arrived, but the corporal didn't live to see it. Today, another promise forms unbidden. I will get Stephanie and Jacob out before the media minefield explodes. First ripple of formal power. My phone rings blocked number. Pentagon Exchange. I answer. Standing at parade rest out of reflex. Lieutenant General Collins, this is the Inspector General's office. Effective immediately. Your clearance is suspended pending investigation. No greeting. No warmth. A lifetime of service iced in 23 syllables. The call disconnects before I can speak. Miguel frowns at my face. Bad. It's official, they benched me. That means they're scared. He says, scared men make mistakes. Easy for him to say. NSA cut him loose years ago. For me, uniform is identity. Without it, who am I? The question slithers in my gut. I crush it with an inhale that reaches my boots. A visit from the press. We step back into the hotel just as Fox Talk's star host Thaddeus T-Bone Foster emerges from the elevator. Suits swarm around him like pilot fish. He spots me, waves his camera crew forward. General Collins, any comment on reports the Justice Department may indict? Ask Mr. Harrington where his crypto donations sleep at night. I call back, not breaking stride. Foster shouts another question, but Miguel shoulders between us. Voice mild as poison ivy, sir. We'll be posting raw data at noon. Might want to wait. Foster's eyes flick to the envelope in Miguel's grip, and I see the calculation spark. Ratings radar turned. Tiny victory, but every inch counts when you're pushing a Humvee uphill with your bare hands. The oath and the fracture. We convene in an abandoned conference room. Stephanie bribed the concierge to unlock. Diane Brooks, our family attorney, joins via Zoom tile, silver blonde hair. Reading glasses perched like twin bayonets. I lay out the intel frames from the deepfake. Miguel's forensic overlay. Stephanie's crypto trail. Diane's lips thin. We can petition a judge for emergency discovery of ranch servers. But we need probable cause. Physical proof that data is stored on site. Miguel taps Granddad's dog tag still resting on my chest. Biometric lock, he says. Gregory cloned Bill Harrington's print for his server farm. Riley has the original fingerprint encoded on that chip. That's our key. Diane nods, eyes gleaming with the first glimmer of real strategy. Get me a drive image, and I'll have a warrant by dawn. I look at Miguel, then Stephanie. Tonight we go in. Stephanie swallows. Security there is ex-special forces. Thermal cameras. Dogs. We've danced with worse, Miguel says. He pats a side pocket. I hear the clink of drone rotors. Tiny but lethal to a Wi-Fi network. My heartbeat steadies. Oddly calm. The battle plan sent ozone before a storm settles over us. Public stakes keep climbing. While we strategize, the internet spits new venom. Gregory uploads a polished video mahogany desk, flag lapel, God Bless America piano loop. He laments the tragedy of watching a decorated daughter spiral into greed. He flashes a letter likely forged showing his charity passed an external audit with no discrepancies. A shot lands multiple high-profile donors repost his video. He's buying public sympathy faster than we can print facts. Miguel plays the clip on mute, brow furrowed. He's setting narrative loving father, heartbroken, betrayed, classic PR judo. I remember boot camp pugil stick drills. Opponent's momentum is also their weakness. Fine, I murmur. Let him lean in. The harder he swings, the harder he'll hit the wall. Class divide on display. That afternoon, Jacob texts uncertain apologies from a rented Rolls sis. Dad wants a quiet dinner to clear the air. The phrase reeks of spin. I answer, love you. Stay safe. Talk tomorrow. I can't risk him getting caught in tonight's storm. On cable panels. Pundits argue whether a woman at my rank could handle the temptation of wealth. One even suggests hormonal instability. The screen caption reads, Is America's diversity? Push a national security risk. My jaw knots so hard a molar twinges. Miguel mutters. Patriarchy speedruns the news cycle. We print the insult, tack it to our whiteboard labeled Counter-Strike Fuel. Sunset bleeds over Austin's skyline when Stephanie returns with blueprints she stole from her father's study ranch layout. Camera grids. She spreads them across the conference table. I place the crushed bluebonnet in the map's center. Its petals have dried into bruised indigo. We finish what Grandpa started. I tell the room. Symbol reclaimed a second time, now serving as battle standard. Diane on screen says, Motion judge goes on call at 10. I'll be parked outside his house. Warrant ready once you transmit the drive image. Miguel syncs his watch. If we breach at 23:30, copy is uploaded by 00:15. He looks at me. You sure? Boss. They catch us. We're felons. I know, I say. But if we don't, Gregory rewrites history and my brothers and sisters in uniform pay the interest. The room falls quiet except for the hum of fluorescent lights. I let the silence stretch. Important orders always land in stillness. Gear up. I finish. We ride at 11:29, outside. Distant thunder rolls over the hill country, though the forecast promised clear skies. Miguel pockets his laptop. Stephanie folds the map. Diane kills the zoom. I pick up Granddad's dog tag, kiss the cold metal, and slide it under my collar. As we step into the corridor, my phone lights up with a breaking news push alert. Exclusive: Gregory Harrington to appear on CNN tonight at midnight with conclusive evidence against General Collins. Midnight is exactly when we'll be 30 feet underground in his server vault. One wrong keystroke, one flicker of motion sensor, and his version of the truth will beat ours to every screen in America. Game on. Wind rattles the plate glass windows of the 12th floor conference room like someone knocking to be let in. It's 10:45 p.m., the last 15 minutes before we move, and Austin's skyline glows neon against a moonless sky. I can feel the city pulsing, bars packed, traffic humming, a million phones refreshing the same hashtag that's tattooed my name in shame across the internet. We're inside a hotel boardroom commandeered as war room. But the polished mahogany table looks more like a surgeon's tray: drone parts, flash drives, nitrile gloves, Stephanie's lipstick-smeared coffee cup, a single desiccated bluebonnet pinned dead center, Texas pride turned battle standard. Miguel paces, spinning a screwdriver through his fingers as if it's a butterfly knife. Stephanie sits cross-legged on a rolling chair, scrolling live comments. The feed is vicious tonight. GIFs of me in an orange jumpsuit. Memes of Gregory smiling beside bald eagles. Diane's face appears on a muted laptop tile. She's parked across town outside a judge's gated driveway. Warrant docs glowing on her dash. We're all waiting for the same second hand to click. But trouble never waits its turn. My phone buzzes with an unknown FaceTime. I almost silence it, then see Mom typed in the caption. Only Gregory would spoof her number this late. Still, something inside me answers. My mother's lined face fills the screen, eyes rimmed with panic. Riley, honey, FBI agents are here, she whispers. They have a subpoena for your medical records, asking if you were ever treated for mental instability. Miguel freezes mid-stride. Stephanie mutters, classic character assassination. I clench my fist until the dog tag digs into my palm. Mom, don't sign anything. Refer them to Diane Brooks. Stay with Jacob. Lock the doors. A loud male voice in the background, ma'am. We need you to cooperate. The call cuts. My pulse spikes. Fight or flight chemicals flood muscles already tight as piano wire. The injustice feels personal, but worse, strategic. Gregory's not just discrediting me. He's staging a pretext for deadly force if I'm caught on his property. A delusional, Armed traitor is easier to shoot than a wrongly accused general. Miguel sets the screwdriver down. We accelerate. Launch window moves up 5. No, I say. He's baiting us to rush. We keep the plan tight. Stephanie's fingers shake as she scrolls. Look at this. She turns the phone, a leaked DHS bulletin, labeling me high-risk insider threat, based on an anonymous tip from a family foundation. My foundation. I exhale through clenched teeth. Taste iron again. Good. Let the world think I'm reckless. He won't expect precision. Bluebonnet petals twitch in the aircon draft. Like flags of surrender. I press one flat. Not tonight. TikTok psychology. Secrets of psychological warfare hold a target under tension long enough. They snap themselves. Gregory's counting on that. The same way cartel interrogators count on thirst. 3 networks tease his midnight CNN appearance. Studio lights already warming his powdered cheeks. Graphics read, father or fraudster, but the segment's pre-scripted to crown him martyr. They ran a poll, should General Collins be court-martialed immediately? 72% voted yes in 40 minutes. Miguel throws a stress ball at the wall. Public opinion flips once they see blockchain evidence. Public opinion doesn't need facts. Stephanie says quietly. Her nylon sneaker taps a frantic Morse code on the carpet. I move beside her, lowering my voice. You can still sit this out. She lifts her chin, mascara bruised eyes hard as shale. I married into this mess with open eyes. I'm seeing it through. Under the harsh conference room LEDs, she looks like every American dream I deployed to protect free. Determined, terrified, but choosing courage over comfort. That choice fuels me more than caffeine. Recon on wheels. At 11:06 p.m., we slip into the hotel garage concrete echo chamber. Tire squeals distant. Miguel drives his matte gray hatchback license plates cloned to match a florist van. I ride shotgun. Stephanie crouches behind the seats. Laptop balanced on her knees. Tethered to Miguel's hotspot. 2 drones the size of dinner plates rest in a foam case. Propellers folded like insect wings. The moment the car exits the ramp, Austin's humidity slaps my face through the half-cracked window. I watch raindrops unexpected. Warm, streaked glass like tracer rounds. God's own complicating factor wet sensors. Slippery clay roads on the ranch. Gregory didn't plan the weather. Maybe Providence still has a spine. Traffic lights change in our favor. Miguel punches coordinates into Waze. But he's really watching a side monitor real-time feed from one of his sock puppet accounts scraping Gregory's security chat. Former Blackwater guys bragging about holiday double pay to guard the old man's gold mine. They post selfies in night vision goggles. Unaware metadata tags their location to within 9 feet. Idiots. Stephanie patches audio from the ranch's gate intercom. Piggybacking on a maintenance worker's phone that still auto-connects. Static. Then Gregory's voice barking orders extra patrol by the server hatch. Collins will try something stupid. My teeth grind. Collins will try something precise. I correct silently. False alarm or first salvo. We're 8 miles out when blue lights flare in the rear view. Sheriff cruiser, no siren. Miguel's shoulders tense. Let him pass, I advise. Miguel eases right, but the cruiser ghosts behind us, matching speed. Stephanie sucks a breath. If they search the car, they'd find unregistered drones, jammer devices, a warrant-grade felony kit, prison before we even breach the ranch. Miguel speaks without moving his lips. Plan Delta. Plan Delta equals scatter, wipe drives, lawyers at dawn, too early to quit. I crack the window wider. Let storm air cool lava thoughts. Then I spot the decal on the cruiser's quarter panel, Travis County Reserve Cadet Program. Volunteer ride-along. A kid, maybe 19, sits passenger side, gawking at his phone. Gregory's influence stops at county lines. Reserve patrols answer to different donors. I give a slow nod. Miguel flicks left into a farm-to-market road. The cruiser continues north. Blue lights dimming in the rain like a bad idea second-guessed. Our cabin exhales. But nerves stay plucked. Every shadow on the roadside could be a command post lens. We keep headlights dark. Trust night vision goggles, Miguel packed. Rain softens into mist. Wipers hush. Enemy propaganda spike 11:27. As we crest a hill, Stephanie gasps. Gregory's CNN interview starts early. Her hotspot screen blooms in the dark studio lights. American flag backdrop. Play the audio, I whisper. Gregory's baritone oozes concern. Heartbreak of watching my daughter's mental collapse. He dabs a tear. Then the host drops a breaking lower third. Leaked emails Collins sought 5 MAU payoff. Miguel chokes. He forged emails too. It's a 1-2 punch first, cast me as traitor. Then greedy extortionist. If the public buys that. Our drive image will look like last-second revenge. Stephanie's knuckles whiten. They're reading them on air. She tilts the laptop so I can see. My alleged message reads, "Promise me 5 million, and my mouth stays shut." The timestamp tonight. 20:04 when I was in a secured room with 3 witnesses. That's a time zone mismatch, Miguel says. His PR team forgot daylight saving conversion. Clip it, I order. Evidence of fabrication. He taps keys. Screen records. Saves to drive. One more tile in our mosaic of truth. But the wider public hears none of this nuance. They see my face and the word extortion. That stickiness will outlast any apology. Rain thickens. Wipers hiss like vipers. The ranch in sight. 11:34, we cut engines at a rural turnout. Oak trees hunch over the road. Branches twitching like skeletal hands under the storm breeze. Quarter-mile ahead. Harrington Ranch gate cameras wink red. A swing arm barrier guards the driveway. Beyond it, stone pillars lit by floodlights. Miguel kills cabin lights. We move in silent choreography. Stephanie cracks the drone case. I slip on tactical gloves. Feeling synthetic fibers hug scars across my knuckles. Miguel whispers, "Drone Alpha will spoof thermal signatures, make them think deer are hopping fences." That draws guards south while we breach north side fence. I nod, tapping the bluebonnet in my pocket. Petals are brittle now, but color holds proof. Resilience isn't about softness. It's about hue that refuses to fade. Stephanie launches the first drone. Blades bite air. Vanish into the night with a faint mosquito whine. Tablet screen shows grainy IR pasture glowing in white blobs. The drone drops heat packs along a fence line. Cameras will read mammal body temps. Guards will chase ghosts. Miguel checks timestamps. 90 seconds to response. We low crawl across wet grass toward the perimeter. Mud sucks at my knees. Earthy scent filling sinuses. For a moment, Kandahar dust overlays Texas clay war zones, divorced by continents, but married in muscle memory. A guard tower spotlight sweeps. Pauses. Moves on. Alpha drone's phony deer just triggered motion south. 2 guards jog off screen. Radios crackling. Miguel grins through raindrops. Teeth neon in the IR glow. Windows open. We reach the fence. Miguel clips a battery-powered cutter. Wire shrieks. Sparks die in the rain. Gap opens. Stephanie slips through first. I follow. Dog tag cold against my sternum. Heartbeat steady as a metronome. Inside the estate. Manicured lawn undulates toward the main house limestone walls. Steel shutters. Exactly like the castle Gregory thinks will keep sins contained. Stephanie touches my elbow. Gatehouse will notice camera loop in 6 minutes. Plenty, I whisper. Then crack. A rifle shot splits the drizzle. Bark explodes above Miguel's head. Someone didn't chase the drone. We flatten. Radio chatter spikes Sector 3. Possible intrusion. Worst words in night operations possible. means they're unsure seconds before trigger-happy becomes policy. Miguel hisses. They must have FLIR handhelds. Backup plan, Stephanie breaths ragged. Go dark and ghost. I scan shadows. 50 yards to utility shed blind spot. 40 yards to ornamental hedgeline cover, but no concealment. Options slim. Another shot, closer. Metal zings hit the wire cutter. Sparks again. They're zeroing in. I tug the bluebonnet from my pocket and pinch a petal off. Not yet. I promise the flower and myself. On 3, I murmur. Separate. Converge at north cellar door. We count. One rain pounds harder. Muffling footsteps. 2 flashlight beams slice the dark like prison searchlights. 3, we sprint opposite directions into black. Hearts hammering thunder's counter rhythm. Behind me, a guard shouts, "Contact north grid," and unleashes a spray of automatic fire that chews the hedge where my silhouette just was. If I don't reach that cellar lock in 90 seconds, the only story America hears at dawn will be the one written on my tombstone, and Gregory Harrington will autograph it. Rain stings my face as I sprint across the back lawn. Hedges shearing past in a blur of gunmetal green. Bullets whip overhead, shredding cedar limbs into confetti. 40 yards, 30 each stride measured. Every muscle screaming, move faster. The limestone west wall finally looms. I press flat, gulping air that tastes of wet clay and cordite. My pulse crashes so loud, I nearly miss Miguel's whisper in the earpiece. North cellar door, 10 meters east, 2 hostiles circling. My boots squelch through mud to the iron hatch sunk in ground level. It's camouflaged as a storm drain grate, but the recessed keypad and thumb scanner betray its real purpose. I kneel, shrug off my soaked jacket, and pull Granddad's dog tag free. Cold metal kisses the reader. Amber light blinks to red, access denied. What the? I mutter. Miguel's voice returns, ragged. Liveness detection. Gregory upgraded. Needs warmth and pulse. Of course, a fingerprint alone is relic-grade security now. I strip a nitrile glove, press thumb to blade of my combat knife, wince as skin splits. Blood beads. I smear the fresh cut over the weathered print on the tag, then slap both against the scanner. A tone chimes. Green light. Bolts thunk open. Inside smells of limestone dust and chilled freon. I close the hatch just as a flashlight beam sweeps where I crouched seconds ago. Vox chatter on the guard's radios crackles. Contact lost. Quadrant 3. Let them chase ghosts. I've slipped beneath their noses. The passage angles down in tight spirals. The walls rough-hewn and beaded with condensation. Each footfall echoes like a drum. My shoulder grazes an old brass plaque, Harrington Cold Cellar, 1898. The family has hidden rot long before Gregory learned blockchain. At the bottom landing, Miguel meets me, chest heaving, rifle sling soaked. Stephanie arrives moments later through a side crawl space, mascara streaking like war paint. We exchange silent nods. Words waste oxygen. A steel vault door bars the server room ahead, handprint and numeric code. Miguel pops a thin graphite sheet from a case. Capacitance spoof, he whispers, pressing it against the plate while hot wiring leads into his laptop. Sparks dance. The lock thinks it's shaking hands with a dead man's ghost. Door slides open, exhaling a refrigerated sigh. Racks of GPUs glow aurora green. Coolant hoses snake like arteries feeding a mechanical heart. Fan roar muffles the storm above. We slip inside 3 rabbits in the wolf's den. Miguel digs in a pouch, produces a 4 terabyte solid state with a skull sticker. Mirror chain protocol. 60 seconds a terabyte. He jacks in. Command windows bloom across screens. Hashes scroll. Wallet IDs cascade. 0xGH. Longshot Realty. 78, 450,000 USD. 0xBR. Dorsey Victory PIAC, 200,000 USD. Evidence enough to sink a senator and a stepfather in one tidal wave. But midway through the copy, a red warning stabs the monitor's remote wipe initiated, T300 seconds. Miguel's face drains. Gregory tripped a dead man's switch. Data will nuke itself. I yanked the bluebonnet from my pocket pedals, brittle but indigo fierce, and set it before the keyboards. A dare to the universe, not to blink. Override. Need root key. Miguel growls. I flip the dog tag in my palm. Could the old man have hidden another secret? I slot the USB edge into an admin port. A prompt appears. Enter legacy passcode. Granddad's campaign motto surfaces in my memory. Honor demands daylight. I type it. Progress bar jerks. Then rockets. Admin priority granted. Remote wipe freezes. Timer aborts. Miguel exhales a curse of gratitude. Stephanie's laptop pings. She patched Drone Alpha's camera feed. Guards on exterior cams have found the fence breach. Worst two SUVs howl up the driveway. Headlights carving white arcs. Gregory's private security reinforcement ex-special ops. The kind paid enough to forget law. We've got maybe 4 minutes before they flood this bunker. Stephanie says. Miguel yanks the SSD, snaps it into an anti-static pouch. Clone done, but there's more. He double-clicks a hidden folder labeled /masks. Up pops high-res footage Gregory in the workshop, sliding a silicone 3D printed face over his own my face. He practices my salute, my stride, then stares into camera with chilling accuracy and recites lines about selling secrets. The deep fake wasn't entirely CGI. He built a practical reference to feed the AI. A fresh vein of rage lights behind my eyes. We leak that. Public opinion detonates. Alarm klaxons bellow overhead. Red strobes stutter. Halon gas hisses from ceiling ports. Automatic fire suppression doubling as intruder deterrent. White mist spills to ankle height. We've got 90 seconds before oxygen levels tank. Time to bounce. Miguel coughs, yanking a rebreather mask over his face. I pull mine on. Stephanie fumbles but locks seal in time. Exit Path A is blocked by descending blast doors. Path B, an antique wine tunnel leading to the carriage house, shows green on blueprint. We dash. Halen nips lungs where mask edges leak. A cold claw squeezing ribs. Tunnel bricks sweat ancient mildew. Rows of dusty Merlot bottles line alcoves, liquid fortunes aging, while living soldiers beg groceries. I shoulder one, smashing glass to mark the hypocrisy. Crimson pools on limestone like spilled blood. Halfway through, motion sensors ping. Emergency shutters slam at the tunnel exit. We skid to a halt. Miguel curses. Manual override on the other side only. No, there's a maintenance grate. I recall childhood hide-and-seek Jacob and I crawling vents. 10 feet up. Faint seam in the ceiling. Problem no ladder. I lace fingers. Miguel steps. Vaults. Grabs rim. Hauls himself. He unscrews bolts with multi-tool speed. Stephanie passes him the SSD. Don't drop our entire case. She jokes, shaky. Panel clatters down. Gas thick as fog now. I boost Stephanie, then leap, catching edge on the second try. Shoulders burn. The weight of 6 medals and a lifetime of proving myself to men who never bled. I swing up as Miguel pulls. Crawl space narrow. Cables curl around knees. We wriggle 20 yards. Grate on far end shows moonlit gravel. Miguel kicks. Metal gives. We tumble onto wet ground behind the carriage house. Fresh air knifes my lungs. Distant thunder rattles windows. CNN's broadcast drifts from the main mansion patio. Gregory's interviews still live via satellite truck. He's mid-sentence, telling America he prays for his daughter's recovery. I almost charged straight through the French doors. SSD held high like a flaming sword. But discipline slams back. Chain of custody, I mutter. Diane needs the image. or a judge tosses it. Miguel checks watch. Upload relay at hotel room is live. We piggyback drone betas LTE. Transmit in 60 seconds. Stephanie's eyes widen as she stares past us. Footsteps, crunching gravel silhouettes, 3 deep advancing from both sides. Rifles raised. Halogen beams catch rain like shards of glass. They've triangulated our position. Any ideas, she whispers. I unsling the antique bottle I'd rescued still half full of 1984 reserve. Yeah, I say, ripping a strip from my drenched sleeve. Stuffing it in the neck. Miguel's eyebrows shoot up. Improvised feint. I clarify. We throw, they duck, we run. He laughs inside his mask. Classic Collins. I light the cloth with Miguel's plasma torch. Flame sputters blue in the rain, but clings. Guards shout. Drop your weapons. I hurl the bottle toward a stone pillar. It shatters. Booze igniting in a whoosh. Flames licking up the limestone like Judgment Day. The guards flinch. We bolt for the tree line. SSD clutched like newborn life. Stephanie's sneaker slips on mud. I yank her upright. Behind us, gunfire erupts, rounds hiss through wet leaves. A hot sting grazes my shoulder. Fabric rips, skin burns. We dive behind a live oak trunk. Miguel keys Mike Diane. Transmitting now. Stand by. Data bar crawls 12%, 19%, 33%. Each tick a drum against my ribcage. Then headlights arc from the driveway, Gregory's armored Escalade barreling straight at the oak. Grill shining like fangs. He's behind the wheel, face hard. Interview long abandoned. 20 yards. 10. Engine screams. There's no time to sprint clear. No weapon heavy enough to stop 2 tons of steel. All I can do is shove Stephanie aside, wrap arms around the SSD, and brace the Escalade's headlights swallow the night. Twin suns barreling straight at us. I shove Stephanie sideways, wrap my arms around the SSD pouch, and brace my back against the oak. Impact never comes. An explosion of gravel. Gregory yanks the wheel at the last heartbeat, fishtails across slick grass, and skids to a stop inches from our tree. He steps out, rain sheeting off a tailored suit, pistol leveled, his cufflinks sparkle like fangs under the floodlights. Hand it over. Riley. He growls, you're bleeding. Don't make this worse. My left sleeve is warm and sticky. The rifle graze cut deeper than I thought. Blood seeps through fabric. Matching the dark petals of the crushed bluebonnet, still pinned inside my pocket symbol, bruised. Not broken. I feel the flower's stem against my ribs. A spine steadier than my own. Miguel crouches behind the trunk, drone controller in one hand, plasma torch in the other. Stephanie stands exposed, arms raised her small defiance. Dad, please, she pleads, stop before this ruins everyone. Gregory's jaw flexes. You betrayed me for her. He flicks the muzzle toward me. After all, I gave this family. That's his narrative generosity turned victimhood. Classic playbook of the powerful. Let Jacob choose the truth, I say. Stalling. He deserves that. He chose success. Gregory snaps. Same choice America makes every day. Behind my back. Miguel thumbs the drone's launch tab. A mechanical whine lifts over the storm drone, beta rockets from the grass, strobing red LEDs. Gregory flinches, firing 2 panicked shots that whistle past the propellers. The distraction is all we need. I pivot from the oak, drawing my sidearm. One rule of close combat, whoever owns the angle, owns the outcome. Gregory recovers fast, sights back on me, but he hesitates. Mindful of the camera. He doesn't want a live-streamed execution. He wants me kneeling, humiliated, evidence forgotten. Put the gun down, daughter. He spits the word. Media's still rolling. This ends with your confession. I keep mine trained on him. Confess to what's surviving you. Beta drone climbs higher. Its LTE antenna beaming raw data to Diane's server. Miguel checks a wrist display. Upload 64%. Good. But not safe. Gregory notices the drone's blinking status bar on Miguel's gauntlet. Rage ignites. You think a clip art robot saves you? He raises his pistol toward the drone. Dad, no, Stephanie lunges. Grabbing his arm, the shot jerks wide, cracks a greenhouse window. Shards rain down like icy applause. Gregory backhands her. She hits the mud with a cry. I step forward. Sight locked on his chest. Touch her again, and I drop you. His finger tightens on the trigger, then headlights flare behind us. A second vehicle crunches over gravel. For a breath, I fear more mercs. But Jacob jumps out of the driver's seat. Tuck's ruined. Tie missing. Eyes wide with terror and fury. Dad, what the hell are you doing? Gregory lowers the gun half an inch. Paternal mask slides on. Son. She's unstable. She stole company property. Jacob looks at Stephanie, mud-streaked, eyes pleading. Then at me, shoulder bleeding. He sees more truth in 2 injured women than in his father's $1 million polish. Give them the drive, Jacob says quietly. If Mom taught us anything, it's that lies rot a family from the inside. Gregory's control fractures. You ungrateful little. Thunder drowns the insult. A sharp pip-pip of suppressed fire stings the air, guards closing in. Miguel yells, hostile south. He tosses a smoke pellet. White clouds billow, swallowing shapes. Visibility drops to arm's length. My world reduces to sound. Heartbeat, the copper tang of rain and blood. PTSD memories threaten, but I ride them like a wave, use the adrenaline. Don't let it use me. Jacob, get Stephanie to the car. I bark. Head to the county line. Deputies there still play by the book. He hesitates. I shove the SSD pouch into his hands. Guard this with your life. America will, too. He nods, gripping the drive like a sacred text, then drags Stephanie toward the sedan. Gregory shouts orders into his radio. Silhouettes fan out. Red dots dancing on smoke. One sweeps across my chest. I dive, roll through slick grass, firing twice to keep heads low. My shoulder screams wet heat freshens the wound, but I stay mobile. Miguel's voice crackles. Upload 87%, drone battery at 14. Priority is Jacob, I hiss. Copy, he answers, sprinting across open ground to flank the guards. Through thinning smoke, I spot Gregory charging the sedan. Gun raised. Jacob's trying to buckle Stephanie into the passenger seat. No time. I break cover. Sprint. Boots slipping. Pain stabs each stride. Vision tunneling. 10 yards. 5. Gregory yanks Jacob back. Slams him against the hood. The SSD skids across the roof. Lands on the windshield wiper. I slam my shoulder into Gregory's ribs. Agony flares, but momentum wins. We tumble into mud. His pistol skitters away. We grapple mud. Blood, rain, memories. He's heavier. Wealth bought him private trainers. But combat isn't sculpted muscles. It's intent. I clip his chin with an elbow. Drive a knee toward his liver. He grunts, scrambles for leverage. He locks a hand around my throat. Presses. Stars bloom at the edges of my vision. I dig into my pocket. Fingers closing on crushed bluebonnet. No weapon, but the petal sticks to my bloody fingertips. Stubborn color against the gloom. A surge of defiance floods me. I hammer his eardrum with the ball of my palm. He loosens. I twist free. Grab fistful of his lapel. You built this house on veterans' bones. I rasp. Time to pay the bill. Headlights swing. Guards converge. But another light floods the scene brighter. Blue-white. Police cruisers. Real ones. Zip across the pasture. Sirens wailing. Diane's warrant must have landed. Gregory freezes. Calculates outcomes. I push off him, raising hands as deputies fan out. They point weapons at both of us. Austin PD show hands. Miguel jogs up, drone buzzing overhead like a loyal hawk. He waves his laptop display, upload complete, chain of custody secure. Relief crashes through me harder than morphine. Gregory sees it too. His shoulders sag just a hair. Then he lunges for the SSD still perched on the windshield. A rookie deputy panics, fires a single round that punches through the Escalade's hood and clips the drive, sending it spinning into the ditch. Sparks, splintered plastic, silicon guts. Everyone freezes. My victory turns to ash. Miguel's mouth opens in silent horror. Jacob stares wide-eyed at the ruined evidence. Gregory's grin returns. Looks like your smoking gun just drowned. Riley. Floodlights paint the ditch. Water gurgles around the cracked shell of the drive, maybe salvageable. Maybe not. Deputies shove Gregory to his knees. Cuff him. But his smirk says he's already plotting the next narrative proof destroyed in chaotic gunfight. Miguel whispers, "We have the upload, but chain of custody judge may call it tainted." Rain hammers harder, drenching every soul in righteous gray. I kneel in the mud, fish the shattered SSD from the ditch. Bluebonnet petals float beside it, two symbols drowning together. My throat tightens, but I plant the drive in a forensic pouch. Seal it. Then my phone rings. Caller ID T-Bone Foster, the journalist. I answer on speaker. "General, I'm outside the ranch with a satellite truck. I've got your deepfake debunk queued and every major network mirroring the feed in 90 seconds. You want airtime?" I meet Gregory's glare across the lawn, cuffed but confident the legal maze will delay justice. "Go live," I tell Foster, rising to my feet, and roll in 3 words. Files still uploading. Because if we can't win in court tonight, we'll win in the court of public outrage, every citizen the jury. Sirens wail, cameras warm, American midnight holds its breath, and the world is about to meet the real face behind Gregory's mask. Sirens and satellite dishes turn the Harrington estate into an impromptu studio lot. CNN's uplink lights scissor through the rain while local affiliates jockey for curb space. Deputies secure the grounds, their radios chirping with fresh instructions. Evidence and transport priority 1. My shoulder throbs beneath a quick field dressing, but adrenaline keeps the pain at arm's length. A deputy hustles us toward a cruiser to protect chain of custody. Miguel carries the forensic pouch like it's a newborn. Jacob supports a limping Stephanie. Gregory sits cuffed on the back bumper of an ambulance, coat draped over his shoulders, still wearing that politician's half-smile like this is a bad gala, not a felony scene. T-Bone Foster greets me beneath the camera's blazing key light. His producer counts down. We're live in 5, 4. Red tally lamp flares. "Good evening, America," Foster intones. I'm standing with Lieutenant General Riley Collins, moments after a dramatic confrontation. He turns to me. "General, do you have proof your stepfather fabricated the accusations?" This is the new battlefield truth versus bandwidth. I meet the lens 8 million strangers' eyes. My uniform's torn, hair plastered, petals of the crushed bluebonnet clinging to the pocket flap. An image that screams warrior in the mud. No spin doctor could design it better. In this pouch, I say, holding the drive, is a mirror of Gregory Harrington's private servers. It documents $78 million laundered through a veterans charity, the deep-fake lab he financed, and the politicians he purchased. I tilt the camera so viewers see chain of custody labels. My blood's still drying on the seal. And if any part of America doubts what digital evidence can do, stay tuned because the upload is finishing now. The producer signals feed from Miguel's drone hits the network. Screens light up nationwide, Gregory wearing my 3D printed face. Rehearsing false confessions. Gasps echo even through the rain. The courthouse sprint by dawn. We're at the federal courthouse glass facade dripping stormwater, fluorescent lobby buzzing like a hive. Diane Brooks meets us, brandishing the emergency warrant she coaxed from the graveyard shift judge. Hasty, but valid. The IT forensics team escorts the drive to a clean room. Chain of custody now has government signatures. Gregory's attorney protests stolen property, Judge Herrera. Robe cinched over jeans. Replies, allegations of ongoing fraud outweigh proprietary claims. Press pools crowd hallways. Hashtags flip. Hat traitor. General slides to number 4, replaced by Taj Maskgate and crypto charity scam. Schadenfreude sells faster than scandal. In the anteroom, Stephanie dabs antiseptic on my shoulder. He almost killed you, she whispers, voice trembling. He almost killed a lot more than me, I answer. Jacob paces. Tie dangling, Riley. The board will implode. Stocks down 40% pre-market. Sometimes collapse is the first honest thing a company does, I say, surprising myself with the calm in my tone. Miguel peers over a laptop, face lit by scrolling code. Mirror chain checksum matches the upload byte for byte. Judge can't claim tampering. Then his brow furrows. But I found another folder Rico jackpot transfers to a super PAC funding Senator Dorsey. Diane leans in. That's the twist that makes this a federal racketeering case. We loop DOJ instantly. The room stills. The stakes leap to Capitol Hill altitude. The hearing temporary courtroom. Fluorescent cold. Gregory enters in blazer and cuffs, flanked by high-priced counsel. He scans the gallery, eyes locking on me. No fatherly warmth, only calculation. Judge Herrera calls the emergency evidentiary hearing to order. Government exhibits roll blockchain ledgers. Deepfake workshop footage. The silicone mask sealed in a plastic bag like a horror prop. Gasps and camera flashes punctuate the monotone voice of the forensic analyst. Gregory's lawyer argues chain of possession breach. Claims military vigilante tactics. Diane counters defendant triggered lethal force. Attempted evidence destruction. And with respect lost moral high ground when he wore his daughter's face like a carnival mask. The judge's stare could crack marble. Noted. He nods to the bailiff to play the final video Gregory alone with a whiskey glass, bragging to a bodyguard about rewriting the will once the crazy general gets discredited. The courtroom air turns electric. I watch Gregory shrink in his chair, suit suddenly too large. Yet part of me feels only weary, not triumphant. Justice, even when served hot. Tastes of ash. Third-party witness door opens. A broad silhouette fills the frame. Thaddeus T-Bone Foster. Not press this time, witness. He raises a hand. Sworn in. 2 weeks ago, Mr. Harrington offered me exclusive footage of General Collins selling secrets in exchange for favorable airtime. When I asked for authentication, he threatened to ruin my career. That domino matters. The gallery murmurs, cameras swivel. Next witness, Thomas Winters, Stephanie's father. Dress blues immaculate. He salutes the bench. Then me, a silent bridge between old warriors. I was security at Harrington Ranch. I saw servers labeled Charity Secured Node linked to offshore wallets. When I questioned it, I was fired. He pulls a plastic evidence bag company badge. Termination letter. His calm dignity slices through the lawyerly fog. Judge Herrera scans the room. Enough. Probable cause for fraud, money laundering, and attempted murder of a federal officer is established. Gavel cracks. Defendant remanded without bail. DOJ will convene grand jury within 72 hours. Gregory's face drains. The smile finally dead. The public verdict. Outside, reporters besiege us. Microphones jab like spears, but the questions have flipped. General Collins, how did deepfake tech almost destroy your career? Should Congress regulate charity blockchain? What message do you have for women veterans watching? I answer measured. Truth doesn't outrun lies on its own. You have to train it. Strap on running shoes. And Chase. I hold up the bluebonnet. Now pressed inside a fresh evidence sleeve. Texas roots survive storms. So can honor. A surge of applause ripples not the entire crowd, but enough to feel the tide turn. Miguel checks his phone. Online fundraiser for legit veteran aid just crossed 2 million. Public wants redemption arcs. Diane smiles tiredly. And DOJ just confirmed the RICO probe. Senator Dorsey's office, reviewing campaign donations. Translation, she's lawyering up. Stephanie exhales, tears mixing with rain. Jacob wraps an arm around her. Eyes on me, gratitude, shame, hope tangled together. For the first time in 48 sleepless hours, my shoulders lighten, clearance still suspended, career in limbo. But the truth is airborne and self-propagating. No bullet can chase that many servers. Twist inside the victory. We think the blows are done, until an assistant U.S. attorney approaches. Tablet in hand. General Collins, Internal Affairs wants you to know the Inspector General who suspended your clearance. He also appeared in those donation ledgers. You helped uncover a wider conspiracy. Miguel whistles low. More rot than we imagined. The attorney continues. They'll reinstate your clearance provisionally, but they need testimony first thing tomorrow. Testify means stepping back into uniform or stepping into politics. My stomach flips. I fought to save a name. Now they want the face attached to a movement. Night now quiets the courthouse steps. Floodlights dim. Crews pack cables. Diane hands me a sealed packet. Notice to appear before Congressional Oversight Committee. Date, TBD. I stare at the envelope. The battlefield just expanded from ranch mud to Capitol marble. PTSD hums its minor chord. But another sound underscores it, opportunity knocking like artillery, loud, unavoidable. I lift my eyes to Miguel. Stephanie, Jacob, Thomas. T-Bone unlikely platoon forged in digital fire. You all ready for round 2? Before anyone answers, my phone buzzes one last alert. White House Press Secretary requests comment on potential Collins appointment to lead a new cyber integrity task force. America wants my voice, but voices carry weight, and weight can break the spine that bears it. I close the phone, thumb the evidence sleeve's bluebonnet, and breathe the damp dawn air. Round 2 starts at sunrise. The sharp click of my dress shoes on the marble floors of the Capitol echoes through the hushed corridors. It's a sound I never thought I'd hear again, not after everything that happened. The heavy door ahead swings open, revealing the House Oversight Committee chamber. The lights are blinding, the air thick with anticipation. But none of it matters. What matters now is the truth, and how much of it I'm willing to expose. I glance at the faces around me. T-Bone is seated in the press area, notebook poised, ready for any angle. Miguel, my silent ally, stands just behind me, his eyes scanning the room like he's still on a battlefield. Stephanie and Jacob are seated at the back, where they've always been supporting me, silently watching. I don't look at them for long. My gaze fixes on the front row. Senator Dorsey, eyes cold, hands folded, an icy smile etched into her face. Gregory Harrington, cuffs off now, but his face still twisted in smug defiance, sits beside her. I can almost hear his thoughts. How long before I'm back in control? But today, the tables have turned. I've fought for this moment, clawed through the muck of his lies. And now, I'm here to finish what I started. The truth has been dripping out, piece by piece, but today it's going to flood the room. The committee chair, a no-nonsense woman with silver hair and a piercing stare, calls the meeting to order. The room settles, the buzz of microphones dying out as everyone focuses on me. The committee's been itching for this moment. For the moment, a decorated military officer turned whistleblower finally steps in front of the very people who've been trying to silence her. General Riley Collins, she says, voice steady but with an edge of curiosity. You are here to testify about the corruption within Mr. Harrington's charitable organization, specifically the laundering of military donations through offshore accounts, including donations to political campaigns. We have already seen some of the evidence, but I need to hear it from you. I nod, adjusting my uniform jacket, still slightly damp from the storm. The weight of the badge on my chest feels heavier than it did this morning. Every eye in the room is on me, every camera lens trained to capture the moment I speak. I take a deep breath. It's the kind of silence you only feel in combat. The pause before the storm of action. And then I begin. The public confession. I've fought for my country for 20 years, putting myself in harm's way to protect the freedoms we all cherish. But I never thought that my own blood, my own stepfather, would sell those freedoms to the highest bidder. The words hang in the air like a bomb, and for a moment, there's nothing but the sound of my own heartbeat pounding in my ears. But I press on. The Lone Star Heroes Foundation, which was supposed to help veterans, was a cover laundering machine for Gregory Harrington's wealth, his political connections, and his empire. I watched as millions of dollars in donations meant for our heroes were diverted into private pockets, into his and his friends' campaigns. Senators, governors, PACs, all funded by the blood of soldiers. I see Dorsey shift uncomfortably. Gregory stiffens. Their smiles are gone now. I turn to face them, the weight of the room shifting with every word. And as for me, the deep fake, the false accusations. Those were his last move in a chess game to bury the truth. He needed to destroy me to cover his tracks, to make sure no one could trace his thefts back to him. I pause, letting the room process. The reporters, the cameras, the committee, they're all waiting for the next piece of the puzzle. They think they know what's coming, but they don't know the half of it. Senator Dorsey, I say, locking eyes with her, you've received $2 million in illegal donations from Harrington's shell companies. You've been bought. I've seen the receipts. Your campaign isn't funded by the people, it's funded by stolen blood. Gasps ripple through the room. Even Gregory flinches. But the senator, she just smirks, reaching into her purse for a glass of water, as if she's above it all. But the truth is out now, and it's only getting worse for them. The twist that breaks, the room erupts in chaos. But I stay calm. The committee members are whispering among themselves, flipping through notes, trying to process what's just been unleashed. But I've got one more twist to throw at them. I slide the final piece of evidence onto the table, a thick folder, marked confidential in red letters. This folder contains communications between Harrington and several high-ranking officials. But more importantly, it contains emails that link him to a conspiracy within the Pentagon to cover up weapons sales to foreign governments. Disguised as humanitarian aid, I didn't just risk my life for my country, I risked it to uncover this. I don't even glance at Gregory as I drop the bombshell. His face pales. His lawyers scramble, trying to collect themselves. But it's too late. The evidence is undeniable. The weight of it, the magnitude of the corruption, it's all here. All laid out in black and white for everyone to see. The moment of reckoning. The committee chair raises her hand for silence, but the room is in an uproar. It's a blur of chaos, of hushed gasps and frantic reporters trying to capture everything. I stay in my seat still, eyes fixed on Gregory. You thought you could destroy me with lies. Gregory, I say quietly, but the truth is a fire that burns everything it touches. And right now, it's burning down your empire. The gavel comes down, but the chaos doesn't stop. A few committee members argue about the next steps. The press is hungry for every word, every shift in the narrative. But my job is done. I've opened the floodgates. And now it's up to them to handle the aftermath. The committee chair calls for a recess. But I don't wait for the applause. I don't need it. My hands are shaking from adrenaline. but there's something lighter in my chest. Maybe it's the weight of the bluebonnet I'm holding in my pocket. Maybe it's the realization that, for once, I'm not fighting in the dark. I stand, turn toward the back of the room, where Miguel gives me a quick nod. He already has the data fed to the next server. The final upload pushing the story to the world. Stephanie and Jacob are right behind me, their faces filled with something close to relief. The door shuts behind us as we leave the room. We've done it. We've taken down Harrington's empire, and the country finally knows the truth. But as I step into the corridor, my phone buzzes again. White House press secretary wants an urgent meeting. They're talking cyber integrity task force again. I stop, looking at the screen. The world is shifting under my feet once more. The truth won't stop, it never does. It moves like a river, and I have no choice but to ride it. I turn to the team. Looks like the fight's not over yet. And with that, the door to my future swings open,